Dear students, let me introduce myself first of all. My name is Nikki. I'm going to teach you biology. In the previous classes, you learned a chapter called Life Process, isn't it? Yes. Today, I am going to start a new chapter called How Do Organisms Reproduce? Chapter number 8. All of you take chapter number 8. How do organisms reproduce? I am starting the lesson by asking a question. Can you define reproduction? Yes, it is simply giving birth to young ones. Yes, that is also correct. But by definition, we can say the reproduction. It is a biological process by which an organism can produce a new organism of its own kind. Okay, reproduction is a biological process because it is happening inside the living things, right? So, it is a process happening in living things. That's why it is a biological process by which organisms can produce new organism of its own kind. Okay, the organism, the living thing which reproduce will give birth to babies of the same kind. See, this dog will give birth to two puppies. This elephant gave birth to a baby elephant, and the human beings, the couples have human babies. So, see, all organisms will produce young ones of their own kind, not not like the elephant produce a puppy produce an elephant. Is it possible? No, no. Yes. So, I would like to ask another question. What is the necessary of reproduction? Why we are saying that reproduction is an important process in the life of a living thing? The first point, the answer to that question, I'm listed 3 points here. To retain the species of its own kind for generation to generation. Okay, so reproduction ensures the continuity of generation. If an organism didn't reproduce, the next generation will not form, right? If man didn't reproduce, our human race will disappear from the earth. Okay, so first and foremost thing, the necessary of reproduction is to maintain or enables the continuity of generation. The second point, the transmission of characters from one generation to another generation is possible. So, through reproduction, we can exchange our characters, right? We got some characters from our parents, like the texture of hair, the way of speech, our eye color. Where did we get the all characters? We got from our parents, right? Yes, in the same way, we are getting some characters from our previous generation, from our parents. So, the reproduction is the only way to transmit such characters. The third point, variation are possible. Variation means anything which is diverting from a point or a common position. If it is diverting, we can say it is variating, right? എന്തെങ്കിലും ഒരു സാധനം ഒരു പോയിന്റിൽ നിന്നും വേറൊരു ഡയറക്ഷനിലേക്ക് പോയിക്കൊണ്ടിരിക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ അല്ലെങ്കിൽ ചേഞ്ച് ചെയ്യുകയാണെങ്കിൽ വി ക്യാൻ സേ ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് വേരിയേറ്റിംഗ്, റൈറ്റ്? സോ ഹിയർ ദ റീപ്രൊഡക്ഷൻ വിൽ ക്രിയേറ്റ് സം വേരിയേഷൻ. Variation in what? Variation in our characters. Say, in some cases, some children will sing excellently. They are good singers, but their parents didn't sing a single line. Where did they get that character? Yes, that is the variation. Okay, the special characters that we get അതർ ദാൻ അവർ പാരൻസ്. ഓക്കെ, പാരൻസിൽ നിന്നും കിട്ടാത്ത നമ്മൾക്ക് മാത്രമായിട്ടുള്ള ക്യാരക്ടേഴ്സ് ഉണ്ടാകുക, ഇതിനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ വേരിയേഷൻ എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. സോ the reproduction can cause variation in organisms. Before proceeding further, I would like to introduce two terms. First one is the inheritance and second one is the variation. I already said that the organisms or the babies or offsprings, okay, I will use the terms throughout the chapter. The offspring means the babies, okay. So the babies or the offspring or the new organism formed through reproduction may be or may not identical, okay. റീപ്രൊഡക്ഷൻ വഴി ഉണ്ടാകുന്ന ഓർഗാനിസംസ്, ഓഫ് ചിലപ്പോൾ ഐഡൻറ്റിക്കൽ ആവാം, ഒരുപോലുള്ളവരായിരിക്കാം, അല്ലാത്തവരും ഉണ്ടാവും അല്ലേ. റീപ്രൊഡക്ഷൻ വഴി ഉണ്ടാവാനുള്ളൊരു ചാൻസ് ഉണ്ട്. Inheritance and variation are occurring in this point. For the process of reproduction, it requires two parents, a mother and a father. I just indicated that as a mother cell and a father cell. The cell of a mother and a cell of a father. You know that inside the cell there is a nucleus, the controlling center of cell, right? I just marked in the image. Then look at this flow chart. Inside the cell there is nucleus that we all know, right? Inside that nucleus there is some structures, there is some thread like structures, നൂല് പോലുള്ള ചില structures ഉണ്ട്. That is called chromosomes, okay. Inside that chromosome there is another structure called genes, okay. Inside that genes we can see some chemical compounds, some chemical substance which is called DNA. The full form of DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. These DNAs are considered as a blueprint of the body. What it means, blueprint? The DNA will decide how you want to look like, how you look like, okay. So the everything, every features you have is already written on the DNA. That's why DNA is considered as a blueprint of the body. So once we get a DNA of an individual, we can understand the characters of that individual, okay. It is already written, okay, it is already written in the DNA. That's why DNA is considered as a blueprint of the body, and it will decide how you will look like, how you want to look like, okay. Then DNA is otherwise known as the hereditary material. Hereditary material. What it means, hereditary? പാരമ്പര്യം. നമ്മൾ മലയാളത്തിൽ പാരമ്പര്യം എന്നാണ് പറയുക. Because DNA is the reason for the exchange of characters. We will get some characters from our parents, right? Actually we are getting their DNA, okay. So DNA are considered as a hereditary material. At the time of reproduction, the DNA from mother cell and the DNA of the father cell will copy, will multiply, okay. This mother cell contains a single DNA, but at the time of reproduction it will double, okay. So in this cell, at the time of reproduction, prior to reproduction, there will be two DNAs. In the same way, here also two DNAs are present prior to reproduction. Reproduction തുടങ്ങുന്നതിന് മുൻപായിട്ട് അമ്മയുടെ അച്ഛൻ്റെയും സെല്ലിൻ്റെ അകത്തുള്ള DNAs ഡബിൾ ചെയ്യുന്നു, കോപ്പി ഉണ്ടാവുന്നു. And one copy will remain in the mother cell, two copies are forming here, right? So one copy will remain on the mother cell itself, then another copy is transmitted. See, another copy is transmitted. Then in the same way, in the father cell also, one copy of DNA is remaining in his cell, another copy is transmitting. These two DNAs, one come from the mother and one come from the father, will join to form a new organism. So that organism will get both the characters of parents, but it may be different from in another way. ചില കാര്യങ്ങൾ കൊണ്ട് ആ കുഞ്ഞ് അച്ഛനും അമ്മയോടും സിമിലർ ആയിരിക്കാം, പക്ഷേ ചില കാര്യങ്ങൾ കൊണ്ട് ഡിഫറെൻ്റ് ആയിരിക്കാം. ഹിയർ it comes the inheritance and variation. Inheritance means it is the transmission of same character from one generation to another generation. In this example, I said that some characters will get from mother and father to the baby. It is called inheritance. Okay, what we are getting from our parents, that is inheritance. Once again, I'll tell you, it is the transmission of same characters from one generation to another. Okay, then example for that is we have same eye color as in our parents, right? നമ്മളുടെ പാരൻസിൻ്റെ അതേ ക്യാരക്ടേഴ്സ് ഓഫ് സ്പ്രിങ്സ് കാണിക്കാറുണ്ട്. ലൈക്ക് ഐ കളർ, ദ വേ ദേ സ്പീക്ക്, ദി ടെക്സ്ചർ ഓഫ് ദെയർ ഹെയർ, we will get exactly like our father and exactly like our mother, right? It is an example for inheritance. Variation have lots of importance. Okay, so the next question is, what is the importance of variation? Variation is very important in the sense that it leads to evolution. Okay, variation leads to evolution. What is evolution? Evolution means in Malayalam it is called parinamam. Okay, parinamam. We evolved from monkeys, right? We originated from monkeys. Our ancestors are monkeys. Okay, how we evolved like this? How we evolved from monkeys? In the olden times, monkeys shown several variations, various characters which is very different, entirely different from their parents. That is variation, right? Yes. So such variable characters accumulated on them, okay, accumulated on their generations over time, and it will evolve into a new species called Homo sapiens. That means us. അതായത് എങ്ങനെയാണ് നമ്മൾ മങ്കീസിൽ നിന്നും ഇന്ന് കാണുന്ന ഹ്യൂമൻ ബീയിങ്സ് ആയത്? ഇവല്യൂഷനിലൂടെയാണ്, അല്ലേ? അതായത് മങ്കീസിൽ ഒരുപാട് വേരിയേഷൻസ് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. മങ്കീസിൻ്റെ അമ്മയുടെ അച്ഛനിൽ നിന്നും അല്ലാതെ യങ് വൺ മങ്കീസിന് വേറെയും ക്യാരക്ടേഴ്സ് ഉണ്ടാവാൻ തുടങ്ങി. ഇങ്ങനെ കാണുന്ന പുതിയ ക്യാരക്ടേഴ്സ് അവരുടെ തലമുറകളിൽ അടുപ്പിച്ചടുപ്പിച്ച് കാണാൻ തുടങ്ങുകയും ഇത് അക്യുമുലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യുകയും അടിഞ്ഞുകൂടുകയും, അത് അടിഞ്ഞുകൂടുക മീൻസ് ഓരോ ജനറേഷനിലും ഇത്തരത്തിലുള്ള വേരിയേഷൻസ് കാണാൻ തുടങ്ങുകയും അങ്ങനെ കണ്ടിന്യൂസ് അക്യുമുലേഷൻ ഓഫ് വേരിയേഷൻസ് ലീഡ് ടു ദി ഇവല്യൂഷൻ ഓഫ് മാൻ. ഓക്കെ, ഫ്രം monkeys. So variation leads to evolution. Then second point, variation helps in the survival of species over a period. Variation helps to survive in adverse condition. പ്രതികൂല സാഹചര്യങ്ങളിൽ ജീവികളെ നിലനിർത്താൻ സഹായിക്കുന്നത് വേരിയേഷനാണ്. I will explain it with an example. I'll make it clear by citing an example. Just assume that it is a pond. Okay, it is a pond and that pond contains so many microorganisms. I indicated the microorganism as small dots here. Okay, so this is a pond with lots of microorganisms. Once that pond encountered a drought. Okay, once the pond and the surroundings encountered drought. ഒരു വൻ വരൾച്ച ആ പരിസരത്തിനെ പിടിപെട്ടു. സോ drought means it is due to high temperature, right? So in that high temperature, some of the bacteria were died. Some of the bacteria lived in that pond died. Okay, but few of them will survived. Few of them survived. That bacteria who survived is uh, resistant towards the high temperature. Okay, the bacteria who survived in that pond acquired resistance towards the high temperature. That's why it is alive, right? Yes. So such bacteria shown variation. The bacteria shown variation survived. Okay, so it means if there is variation, the chances of survival is high under unfavorable conditions. Okay, so the concept I try to convey is clear for you. I hope it is clear for you. Then now we are actually getting into the chapter, the types of reproduction. We already discussed that what is reproduction and the importance of reproduction, things like that, right? Yes, now we are going to learn the types of reproduction. Based on the number of parents involved in the reproductive process, we can classify the reproduction into two. First type of reproduction is the asexual reproduction. What it says? Asexual reproduction. Second one is the sexual reproduction. So there are two types of reproduction. Based on the number of parents, we can divide the reproduction into two: asexual reproduction as well as sexual reproduction. I tabulated some difference between the asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. So let's check. First of all, asexual reproduction involves only single parent. Okay, only single parent is involved, either mother or father. That is the first point. In contradictory to that point, in sexual reproduction, there are two parents. One female and one male parent is there in sexual reproduction. The second point, no gametes are formed. What is gametes? Gametes are none other than the sex cells. Okay, the reproductive cells produced by organism is called a gamete. So here in the asexual reproduction, the gamete is not forming. അവിടെ gamete form ചെയ്യുന്നില്ല. In sexual reproduction, the gametes are formed. Yes, the sex cells from the mother and the sex cells from the father are forming and they unite to form the offspring. Then next difference, in asexual reproduction, the reproduction is very fast. Okay, asexual reproduction will raise young ones in a fast rate. But in sexual reproduction, the reproductive process is very slow. It will take to produce offsprings in sexual reproduction. Next point, new organisms formed exactly identical to the parents. In asexual reproduction, the offsprings produced are exactly similar to the parents. They are the Xerox copy of their parents. Okay, in asexual reproduction. But in sexual reproduction, new organism formed is not 100% identical to the parents. In sexual reproduction, the offsprings are similar but not identical. Okay. Last difference, sexual reproduction found in single cellular organism. Asexual reproduction found in single cellular organism. Animals showing the simplest cellular organization show the asexual reproduction. ഓക്കെ, ഏറ്റവും സിമ്പിൾ ആയിട്ടുള്ള ബോഡിയുള്ള ആനിമൽസ് ആണ് അസെക്ഷുവൽ റീപ്രൊഡക്ഷൻ പെർഫോം ചെയ്യുന്നത്. ദെൻ animals with complex body structures like us, human beings, we have a complex body organization, right? Our cells are combined into tissues combined into organs, organ to organ system, then organism, right? So we have a complex body organization. In such organisms, sexual reproduction is common. So these are the main difference between sexual and asexual character. Asexual reproduction and its type. Now you know what is asexual reproduction is, right? The reproduction involving only single parent. That is called the asexual reproduction. In asexual reproduction, there are different kinds. Different kinds of asexual reproductions are there. I am listed few names of few asexual reproductive methods or asexual reproductive ways. The first one is the fission. First type of asexual reproduction is called the fission. Second type of asexual reproduction is the fragmentation. What it is? Fragmentation. Third type of asexual reproduction is the regeneration. Fourth type is the budding. Fifth type is the vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation. Last but not least, the last asexual reproductive type is the spore formation. So children, we want to study 6 type of asexual reproduction. I hope you understood what I said. So for now, it is enough. On the next class, you have to write notes on the topics we discussed. We will see you on the next session. Thank you.